Repeat after me. Hey!
Hey!
Ho!
Ho!
Team!
Team!
Beachbody!
Beachbody!
Team!
Team!
Beachbody!
Beachbody!
Hey!
Hey!
Ho!
Ho!
Start jumping up and down. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Come on. Come on. Let's hear it. Bigger, bigger. Hey!
Hey!
Ho!
Ho!
Team!
Team!
Beachbody!
Beachbody!
Team!
Team!
Beachbody!
Beachbody!
10 left, still jumping over there. All right, have a seat, everybody, have a seat. Just kind of moving and grooving. Thank you, Jeff Hill. That was awesome, man. That guy, we're so lucky to have him at Beachbody. Let's hear it for Jeff. One of the main reasons why you're all sitting here, one of the main reasons why the coaching business has done so well and it still continues to grow. And here we are up in Edmonton. I was in Santa Clara, California yesterday, where it was also raining and cloudy and gloomy, but it was 78 degrees, so what is that Celsius? I'm not quite sure. But, you know, I'm here to do a little Q&A, a little conversation early on. We probably don't have, we're running a little bit late, so I'm just going to give you a little story about me that maybe a lot of you don't know. So, you see our success, obviously. We've had so much over the course of 19 years with Beachbody. That's how long I've been around, since the inception, 1998, 99, something like that, when Carl Deichler, the CEO, and John Conlon, the president, had an office the size of the stage, pretty much. That was it. And now we're this, you know, we have 1,033 employees, a $1.4 billion company, and a lot of that has to do because of the people in this room, you. And, you know, the infomercial industry is changing. You know, people aren't sitting around with a remote clicking around to watch infomercials as much. So it's an ever-changing dynamic. And so, you know, we decided to kind of create a business for all of you so that you could not only get healthy and feel good and have more energy, but to be able to put a few bucks in your pocket in the process and maybe not have to work for the man. And a lot of you, who's a full-time Beachbody coach? Raise your hand. Yeah, keep those arms up. Keep them up if that's a good thing. Put your arms up if you are not a full-time coach yet. See, so there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of opportunity, right? So I mean, some people do it part-time and they love it because they love Shakeology. They love the performance line, which it's like crack for me. I love that stuff. You know, just snort that energize. Jimmy jumps, 4,004, 4,005. You know, so. But you know, we're just so cutting edge. We're so ahead of so many other people. You're so fortunate that, you know, you're with this organization. And you know, I was talking backstage, and the whole coaching industry, the whole coaching opportunity is just making sure that you put in your hour or two a day. And some people are all day long because they just love it. They love helping people, because this is not about becoming rich. And it's not about recognition, even though there's a lot of recognition. Obviously, I get a lot of it too. But we are in the industry of service. That's what I'm in. I'm here to serve and to help people feel good, look good, have more energy, more enthusiasm, so they can jump off of bridges like Jeff did, or anything else, or go rock climbing or mountain climbing or heli skiing, or just experience things that maybe they never thought they could, because they're physically able to and because they're financially able to as well. And that's what this whole thing is about. And we're not selling, you know, we're not selling vacuum cleaners and cosmetics so much. Not that we don't need those things. Vacuum cleaners are very important. But what this is about is following this process, working with this company, having faith in what we do, and applying that to your life first. And then once you get that together, you know what I mean? Because there's a bit of a journey. Transformation isn't easy, but you have to kind of go through that process. Who here's lost 10 pounds with one of Beachbody's programs? 10. Yeah, hello. Didn't that feel better? Who's lost 20? 20, jeez, oh my goodness. 30? What? 40? 50? Oh, how does that feel? 60 pounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 70 pounds? Anybody 70? Anybody 80 plus pounds? Well, how about over 100 pounds? Anybody in the room? 100 pounds? Girlfriend, you're welcome. So that's the spark, that's the tipping point, that's the magic, you know, that's That's everything that you want out of life. I mean, it completely changes your perspective. That's called evolution. You know what I mean? Going from being stuck and confused and taking diet pills and, you know, going for that weight loss and weight gain, weight loss, that hell that a lot of people have been through. Anybody been through that where you gain and you lose and you gain and you lose? Right? So that's just no fun. You know, the idea here is to figure this stuff out, have faith in it, and just apply that to your life so that eventually you can begin to share that with other people. And that's what changes the planet. Because overweight people are overwhelmed typically. Does that sound about right? Raise your hand if that's true. All right? So when you're not overwhelmed, you feel like you have more energy and enthusiasm to take things on. You have more confidence. You can kind of get out of bed and spring and go. Anybody? Does that raise your hand if that feels true to you? Right? So that's what we're here about. You know. And so a lot of people look at me and they think, well, you know, he's sort of fit. He's a fit guy. What? People go, Tony, when's leg day? There's your leg day. What the hell else am I supposed to do, man? Forget it, Arnold. You got nothing on me, buddy. Right, so at 58 years old, it's just really, really fun to be able to wake up in my own flesh. Because it wasn't that way when I was a kid. You know, when I was a kid, I was a C- student with a horrible speech impediment. And getting up in front of a group like this would have been virtually impossible for me. So, you know, I moved to California from Rhode Island and Connecticut, and different vibe. You know, for me, it was just an atmospherical shift and change. New people, new place, new activities, new outlook, fresh beginning. That's what it was for me. And so I started exercising purely because I wanted to meet girls. Hi. Apparently I'm going to need a personality to go with this thing. In the meantime, look at this. You know, look at my leg. So you know, it was, and what happened was, and I didn't get the food thing figured out right away, because you know, I had sort of a high metabolism. I was sort of a, you know, like a kid who was, you know, like a hummingbird on crack. You know, I was just like all the time. Usually because I was paranoid and overwhelmed or whatever it was, but scared most of the time. But when I started exercising, that changed everything for me. And over the course of maybe 10 years, I was experimenting with my food, just making sure that I began to clean things up now. And I really feel like right now, at this point in my life, I've got it figured out. I'm not vegan, but I eat vegan. I'm not vegetarian, but I eat vegetarian. I'm not paleo, but I eat paleo. Half Italian, but I love Italian food. I'm not Vietnamese, but boy, that's good too. Chinese food and French food and all of it. I just eat really, really healthy food all the time, and I don't put it in a category. I don't put it in a box. I just make sure that if I look down at my plate, that my great-great-great-grandparents would recognize what the hell it is, and it ain't Red Bull and Doritos. Okay, it's just this. All right, so it's been a fun journey with me. You know, of course, I met Carl. I was an actor and a comic, and I used to go down to the pier at Santa Monica. You know what I mean? Put my hat out. I'll be here all week, at least for the next hour and a half. So, and that's what it was. It was just a scramble. But you know, exercise and diet changed who I am. That was the core. That was the foundation for me. It wasn't like I was taking advanced placement courses on personal development, even though I was doing tons and tons of personal development. Deepak Chopra, Tony Robbins, Richard Carlson, Gary Zukav, Don Miguel Ruiz. That was my library. You know what I mean? How to go from being a loser to a winner. Never done that before, is that? Does that feel like winner to you? I don't know. Feels like another form of loser, really. But you know, it was just really about building self-confidence and opening new doors and opening new windows and firing through. And before, in the old days, I would just say no. I said no to everything. I mean, the awesome thing is, a lot of you, raise your hand if you felt like, do I want to go to this thing today or do I not? I mean, you kind of felt like you're on the fence. Raise your hand. But you came. You did it. You have an experience. You have a story. You're going to learn. It's the beginning. Perfection. Right? Because I can't tell you how many times I was like, well, that's a 45-foot cliff and I've got skis on, and apparently if I land down there, it'll either be really awesome or really bad. But I've done everything else I can prior to this moment. Right? Just like Jeff did off that bridge. Of course, my skis came off and I crashed, but I looked up and I went, son of a bitch, Well, it's only my first use of profanity. There will be more. I'm just going to warn you right now, so get ready. You know, in the workouts, I'm PG-13. In life, I'm NC-17 plus. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. But I don't want to talk too much more. I just want to make sure that we have a few moments, like 10 minutes for some questions, because I know you guys have some things that you want to ask. Don't sit on your hands. That's what I used to do in school. That's why I was a C- student. And now I just go, I got to pray. I have another thing. One more thing. What about carbs? What Aporex, is it really as awful as I think it is? Yes, it is. So who has those microphones? Let's put some hands in the air, and hopefully we'll get through. I'll do the speed round here. We'll get right to it, everybody. Yes, sir, in the back over there with the gray shirt.
Hi, I'm Bailey from Calgary.
Hi, Bailey from Calgary.
So I'm reading your book, The Big Picture, Bailey.
Hold, stop for a minute, Bailey. Bailey is reading my book, The Big Picture. Raise your hand if you own my book, The Big Picture. Raise your hand if you do not have my book, The Big Picture. Do you want to know everything I know? Go buy the book, The Big Picture. It's on Amazon.com, paperbacks like $9. All the stuff that's in here is in there. Bailey, go on.
So I'm curious, what's your favorite of your 11 laws?
The very first book, the very first one is do your best and forget the rest. So when I say do your best, do your best.
Forget the rest.
Aging is for?
It is.
Thank you very much. Right, so I like to make things simple. You know what I mean? Quite often we come into a situation where we feel overwhelmed. We feel like, we can't participate. We feel like it's not, something that I can learn. It just seems like it's overwhelming. And so the book is filled with a lot of humor, a lot of stories. It's autobiographical in a sense. It kind of gives you a sense of what I've been through and all my struggles and all my trials and tribulations. But do your best and forget the rest is going to apply to this workout we're going to do this afternoon. It's a hybrid of a lot of different things in the program. It's not cardio 1 or 2 or 3 or resistance 1, 2 or 3. It's a mix of all of them. So there's a little bit of 1, 2, and 3 in there. So, we're doing 25 damn push-ups in slow motion at the end. Who's gonna have to, yay, 60%. So what does do your best and forget the rest mean? The reason why everybody in this room doesn't have 9% body fat and are professional rock climbers and heli skiers and millionaires is because you've been focusing on the rest. Right? That's what when I was sad and miserable and tired and overwhelmed and anxious, it was the rest that kept me from opening up new doors. It was the rest that kept me from meeting new people. It was the rest that kept me from having the life that I have now. And so I just stopped doing that. I have another expression, do scary things that don't kill you. Right? So I mean, this is a little bit scary. I mean, I don't have a personal relationship with everybody here. I'm a little bit scared. I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid or use the F-bomb or something. Right? Right, but I'm in it. It's about being present. It's about enjoying it. This is the journey. This is the journey. It's not the bank account. That's, oh, look, and now I have $100,000, or I have $250,000, or I have $1 million. I'm done. All right, more money, more problems. I mean, it's hard to think about that when you're sort of struggling to pay your bills and that kind of thing. But that's not what it's about. It's about connection with other people who are doing awesome things for other people. You cannot think about yourself. You cannot be selfish while being selfless. Those two things cannot happen at the same time. All right? My job is to be here to disseminate information so you go, aha, right? Learn, get better, transformation, evolving, and being comfortable in your own skin every day. I mean, not every day. I just spent 5 hours on a plane getting here. So I'm a little bit woozy, but I had a really good mattress, so hey, that's a good thing. Enjoying the little things. So doing your best and forgetting the rest, I mean, that's the reason why it's the first chapter, because it says everything about how to move through life. You know what I mean? Just show up, be present, enjoy the journey, have very low expectations. Seriously. Like when I went to QVC, Tony, are you nervous? Like 15.9 billion people are watching. I have very low expectations. So if you do something great, yay, it turned out great. Great, good question. Who else? Yes, we got a microphone over here for this young lady. We have about a few more minutes. Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi.
So I've done P90.
What's your name?
My name's Jen.
Hi,
I'm also
Jen.
from Calgary.
Say hi to Jen, everybody.
So first of all, thank you for being a part of every morning for the last 6 months of my life.
You're welcome.
I
love the
feel
way
like
you
I
decorate.
know you.
I can see through the TV.
I know you.
That purple couch is outrageous.
How did you know?
You got style.
So you're very positive, you're very enthusiastic. I've seen a lot of your videos. I want to know about a time that you regretted something or something that was really challenging for you. Paint us a picture for what that was and maybe how you got past it.
I think I'll be as quick as I can. When I was younger, that was a daily occurrence. I was disappointed about it. All my choices, I'd go to bed at the end of the day and go, "Oh, that was a big waste of time." You know what I mean? But I didn't have the wherewithal to get up the next day and make a change, unless I went to a seminar like this, or read a book that had some information that kind of helped me move through my quagmire, whatever I was in. But I think at this stage in my life, now that I've been a little successful, since Beachbody has provided such an amazing lifestyle for me, of course I ventured out, sneaker deals and clothing deals and TV shows and mouth guards and kneecap protectors. I mean, I jumped into so many different things, and now 22 different things tanked. I had home delivery food, Tony Horton Kitchen for a while. They did a deal with 7-Eleven. We had the food in there, but their corporate folks just were fighting. They rather have sell Red Bull and hot dogs and cigarettes than sell healthy food. You know what I mean? And so that's a lot of time and energy and money down the toilet. You know what I mean? I could think of how many ski trips I could have gone on with all the money I spent with all that silliness. And so one of the I've been at Brendan Bouchard's. Anybody know Brendan Bouchard? Who's been to a Brendan Bouchard seminar? Anybody? Oh my God. I was there in Santa Clara yesterday. People from around the world, 27 countries. Room was filled about this big, this many people. This guy he jumps in all the whole time. I don't know how he does it. He's just jumping and speaking and talking a million miles an hour. And he's got so much content. It's just so powerful. As a coach, it is amazing. So it's Brendan, Burchard. Google him, get on his stuff, follow that guy. He's amazing. And so what he taught me yesterday at that seminar, and I'm going back today, I thought he'd come by and say hello and do a workout, right? Because I'm in service. And he said, don't overwhelm yourself with too much. Don't do too much. One thing. He says, one project a year. One a year. 3 max if you have the infrastructure. 3 max. And so what happens is you're trying to do too much. It's like, oh my God. I called my wife and I said, yeah, remember those 10 things that people want me to do? No. Just tell them no. I'm going to work on what I do with you and, maybe a clothing line and my skin and hair care line, and I'm done. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. And public speaking. That's 4. Son of a... I can't help myself. One more question? Time for one more.
I got one right here, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Hi, what's your name?
How you doing?
Well,
Sorry.
take my ring off and answer that question.
So this might be a really dumb question, but you told us to do something scary.
No such thing.
So I feel like I do an okay job of promoting 22 Hardcore and selling those challenge packs, but I'd love to have your wording on how you'd approach someone who's afraid of doing something fast-paced and outside of their comfort zone, somebody who is not used to working out. How would you specifically say, do this program?
Well, you could say that I was talking to Tony the other day.
Well, I'm going to.
Tony Horton, the guy in it, and he told me this. And so I would say very simply, a lot of people freak out because they feel as if they have to match what they see on the screen, and that is absolutely 1,000% incorrect. Especially with the cadence, right? Everybody wants to 1, 2, 3. I'm already crapped out at 4, and And so the idea here is to go inside of yourself and ask what you can do. Forget the cadence early on. The cadence is not important. I mean, it's there. A lot of people can get in there and they can modify. That's one way, right? Modification with the cadence and sort of keeping up, that's one way to do it. But what if they just ignored the cadence altogether? I'm telling you, the cadence police would not knock on their door and say, oh, I'm sorry, you're doing that incorrectly. You know what I mean? You have to do your best and forget all that stuff that's inside of your head that's telling you that you can't do it. Skip stuff. Pause stuff, go at your own speed and pace, modify. Showing up is the most important thing of all, and not judging it every step of the way. It's just that, it's just that temporal lobe. It's messing with you. Just take those sewing needles and just get up there and scramble it out. I can do anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's the place I'm in right now. You know, you're going to fall down and you're going to fail, and that's part of it. That's part of transition. That's called learning, right? And I think what happens after high school and college, a lot of people are sort of done. Like they think they know what they know, and then their world gets smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where they're looking through a pinhole, and it's really easy to say, well, see, and I told you so, and it's not for me, and whatnot. And the idea here is just to get in the game and make it as ugly as humanly possible, repeat. And the more you do, the better you get. And so after a while, there's less pausing, you're catching up with the cadence, and you're more capable over time. That's why it's an 8-week program. A lot of people, you know, here's the fact. You want the facts about 22-minute hardcore? It's an 8-week boot camp, 22 minutes. Now, corporate doesn't want me to say this, but I'm in service. I like speaking the truth. Men typically have 40% more testosterone than women. That's just genetics. It's the damn Y chromosome. Not much you can do about it. Now, there's a variance, obviously, between different men and women based on your parents, you know what I mean? People are ectomorphs or endomorphs or mesomorphs, different body types, right? Some people are just naturally big. Some other people are naturally skinny. We hate them. Don't forget the hate on that. I'm kidding, right? And so dudes respond to physical activity quicker than women. Women have to do 22-minute hardcore twice to get the results that they want if they have the typical balance of estrogen and testosterone in their body. That's just nature. So you have to, and so why is that awesome? Because women have to work twice as hard, which makes them twice as better. Twice as good. Twice as more better. What? Yeah, which makes them better. Right? Because they have to earn it. They have to work for it. You know what I mean? It's more. So obviously, it makes them much cooler than us guys. So I wish we had more time. I would talk for 2 hours because there's so much to say. But we're going to do a little photo thing here. I think 200 people have earned the right. I think they each had to do 100 push-ups in a row.
Another little workout. You guys ready for the workout? Make some noise. So Tony, just quick. I know we are very